Over the last few years, Srixon have been known for making incredible irons. This latest version of ZXi range has been unbelievably well received. I tested it here on the channel. I was blown away by the performance. Well, now Srixon are bringing out the ZXi R and the RHL. These are game improvement irons, but offer a lot of the key features already so loved in the ZXi range. I must admit, they look fantastic. Now, often game improvement irons do get a little bit of an ugly makeover. That's not the case here with the Srixon. They've made, again, very popular ZXi range, which is all kind of this chrome, very sharp edges. They look fantastic. All they've really done is they've made a more forgiving model. Now, this is brand new alloy, so it's a brand new material just for the ZXi R range. Apparently it's 10% softer, quieter, and you get more feedback. I mean, that sounds like a lot of things you'd want from a better player's iron as well. Now, as I mentioned, we've got two models, the ZXi R and the HL, which is the high launch. I'm going to hit both the 7 irons in this video. There's a longer blade length, a wider sole, and slightly more offset. So again, this is offering so much forgiveness. There's a few more features also, but we'll come on to that in a moment. Let's hit some shots first. They look really nice. You know what they remind me of on looks? Like when Mizuno make a game improvement iron. Like it has all of those really nice classic points you want from a Srixon or a Mizuno iron, but they've just blown it up. Like just stuck a little bit of game enhancement drugs in there to kind of give it that fuller profile. Yeah, I really like it. And I'll tell you what, looks wise behind the ball, you can definitely tell it's a bigger blade length. I think for a higher handicapper, they'd get a lot of confidence looking down at the iron. 7 iron is strong, 28.5 degrees of loft, so I'm expecting this to go a long way, but hopefully still launches high and kind of stops quickly as well. So I've got the green out there at 190. Oh, but it felt fantastic. Slightly pulled it, but that might be that more of an offset. Again, they've kind of created more angle here between the hosel and that front edge. Again, that's to help the ball leaking off short and right, and that didn't go short and right, that went pretty long. 191 carry, and you can see it just pulled that left-hand side, which I would expect this iron to do. One thing I didn't expect this iron to do was to feel that good. Like that felt really, really soft. The kind of same softness you get in almost like a forged iron. That was really nice. Oh, that is a gorgeous feeling iron. Maybe they're onto something with this alloy. They've got that printed on the hosel there. Honestly, that feels and sounds phenomenal. Not what you'd expect from a game improvement iron, honestly. Normally they're a little bit more clunky, they're not quite as nice feeling. This feels like a player's performance iron. Wow. 192 carry for the 7 iron there. Like I say, it's strong lofted, but it's got plenty of height. No worries about that. Yeah, again as well, felt great. That one, truth be told, was a little bit cleaner struck, but I mean, it's still landing 190. You can just tell there's a little bit more of a run out once it lands. The spin there is below 5,000 RPM, which is quite low for a 7 iron, but the height is super, super high. And what's interesting there, from right to left, it only had 8 side spin, 8 RPM side spin. So like it's going dead straight, unbelievably straight. Let's hit a couple more with this 7 iron. Oh, that was a little bit of a chunky one. That was I mean, look at that though. You can see I chunked it. Look how far it's rolled out. But do you see where it landed? Front edge of the green. Now apparently because of this new milling effect they've used on the club face here, they've actually managed to distribute the weight and they've actually moved the centre of gravity lower, so the sweet spot is lower. Again, you see a lot of high handicappers, they'll strike it kind of clean, quite off the bottom of the face. So they've actually adjusted the sweet spot to allow for that. Even I hit it low off the face quite a lot. That one not so much, that was a chunky one. But it still did unbelievable. 183 carry and I battered that. Yeah, first one that's just leaked a little bit right. But again, it's fine in the green. Oh, a little bit open there with the face. But again, look at that, still pin high. Still finding the fringe of the green at least at 190 yards, that's pretty impressive. Okay, what I might do, I'm gonna come back to the high launch iron in a minute. Let's hit the 4 iron and the pitching wedge and then we'll come back to the high launch 7 iron and then we can compare the numbers. Okay, a couple of things to come on to before I hit the 4 iron. First off, price for a set of irons, the ZXiR, quite the mouthful, £959. So under that £1,000 price point, it's not bad, it's not terrible. Second thing is the 4 iron. I actually don't think a lot of people who are buying the full set of these would actually even wouldn't even consider, that's the word I'm looking for, the 4 iron. But what would be quite interesting here is I think this 4 iron might be, you know, if you've got a ZXi5 or ZXi7, you might go, hold on a minute, could I just do with that little bit of extra forgiveness with the 4 iron? Therefore, this could be that club. You know, it's for that kind of long iron replacement. Let's give it a hit. It's strong lofted, 19.5 degrees. I mean, that is a strong for 3 iron, never mind a 4 iron. So I think this is honestly going to go a million miles. Oh, slightly fatted it. Slightly. And it's nearly flirted with the hole as it's gone past at 230. Slightly chunked it. I suppose that extra bit of sole is going to help that kind of turf interaction. It kind of, obviously I'm hitting off a mat here, but it didn't dig in. It kind of still managed to put as much energy into the golf ball as it could do. I'll be totally honest, I don't love the look of the 4 iron behind the ball. It feels like the blade length is a bit too long, a little bit too much offset, and actually the back of the club just sticks out a touch too much as well. It's not the prettiest 4 iron. I actually like the look of the 7, but this, I don't know, it's just a bit more clunky. It's not quite as refined. Maybe I'm not good enough to hit this 4 iron. Come on, I can do better than that. Those two weren't very good. There we go. That was a better contact. I think what's weird is obviously it's a 4 iron on the bottom. When I'm looking down at it, it kind of looks so much stronger. It looks like a 2 iron or a 3 iron even. I think the first couple of shots I was almost trying to hit down on it a little bit more like a 4 iron, where it kind of needs to be caught clean off the surface. That one was very much off the bottom of the head. I'm definitely testing enough parts of this club face, that's for sure. That was skinny. I mean, it's 207 carry, 225 total distance, only 4.4 yards off line. Just don't feel like I've absolutely middled one yet. I don't know, the looks is throwing me off a little bit. Kind of loft is throwing me out a little bit as well. I'm using all the excuses I can, but let's find a good one on this one. Better strike. Not perfect, but better. Yeah, I'm not going to spend loads of time on the 4 iron here because, again, I don't think people who are interested in the ZXiR are probably going to be using the 4 iron. Don't know. For me, the looks is putting me off too much. I'm sure I could get over it, but it's not blowing me away, the 4 iron. Let's move to the pitching wedge next. Okay, pitching wedge. This actually looks like a big faced, clunky wedge. Yeah, I mean, it looks confident boosting. It just, for me, I feel like it's going to go a long way. 43 degrees is the loft of this pitching wedge. That's kind of more like a 9 iron, and it looks big, like the face looks like it's got a lot of surface area. Let's see how this flies, now it feels. I think what's interesting here, when I hit it and I've got speed, I can get the height, I can get the stop, I can create a little bit of spin. My worry is slower swing speeds aren't going to be able to create quite as much spin or height. So definitely if you're considering them, go and hit them first and make sure you can actually get the balls up in the air. See what the wedge does. It reminds me, I used to have this, when I first started playing golf, I had a set. They were called Mizuno Shore, S-U-R-E. And I used to nickname them the shovels. And it kind of reminds me of that. Like the Shore was a big, forgiving, massive faced iron. And this kind of very much looks like that. Lots of face. And it definitely feels like it's going to go left on me for some reason. Offset, one thing, maybe that kind of extra blade length, another that feels like the face. Almost feels like the face, because it's so big, has more time to rotate and turn. Again, for a game improvement iron, you might want a bit of that. It's just an observation that I'm finding. It's the face is, because it's so big, it kind of feels like it's having more of an impact as it comes in to hit the ball. Yeah, feels like everything's going to go left on me. It feels good, that's a positive. I think for a lot of golfers, they're going to look down at that and it'll be confidence inspiring. I think for me, for such a more precise iron where I'm wanting to try and hit this one close, it just feels like a lot of club. Let's go one more. Yeah, it's a really weird feeling for me. It just feels like because the face is so big, it turns. It feels like a barn door coming in and slamming shut. Hence why I'm kind of pulling that a little bit left, but it does feel good. I just don't think, for me, it's not perfect for me, but again, for a lot of game improvement golfers who want more help, that kind of left shot would be way better than a leaky right shot. Right, let's just hit the high launch one, because I want to see the difference between standard iron, the ZXiR, which is 28.5 degrees, compared to the high, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I didn't quite explain that well, just on that last sentence. The ZXiR 7 iron is 28.5 degrees of loft. They've also brought out a set, the ZXiR HL. The Srixon ZXiR HL. That's actually ridiculous, isn't it? That's actually ridiculous. I mean, that'd be probably worth a lot of points in Scrabble. You could probably make a decent word out of that. This iron is weaker lofted. It's 32.5 degrees of loft, so it's going to go much more traditional height. Again, I think they know that the standard model is a bit strong, and I think a lot of golfers in simulators will hit it and go, oh yeah, I'm hitting my 7 iron the furthest that I've ever hit it. But you've really got to watch out for height and how quick the ball's going to stop. You have to look out for that. Don't just go on the number of how far you're hitting it. I think this iron's not going to go as far. Well, it's not going to go as far. It's 4 degrees weaker. But is that going to be more beneficial for height and stopping power? Often it is. Let's give this one a hit. Looks exactly the same as the ZXiR 7 iron, but obviously this has just got more loft. That was nice. That was really nice. And like already, it stopped so much quicker. It landed and it slammed on the brakes. Spins up, heights up, distance is down. It's exactly what you'd expect. Felt great. Felt really, really good off the face. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. Watch how quick that stops. Little tiny run out, but it's stopping so much quicker. For me, I slightly get worried when game improvement irons go too strong in loft. So I think in a simulator, if you're getting fitted, the nice ego boost, oh mate, my 7 iron, the furthest I've ever hit it, But the reality out on the golf course, if you're not getting the height, you're not getting the stop, the clubs become very difficult to play with. They really do. Right, I'm going to hit one more, then we'll compare some numbers. And I feel like you get all the benefits from the ZXiR. I didn't quite catch that one as well. You're still getting the forgiveness, you're still getting the wide sole, you're still getting the huge face, the offset, but it's just so much easier to hit up in the air. So much easier. Right, let's have a look at some numbers. Okay, data-wise, it's pretty much what we expected. We'll start off with the standard ZXiR 7 iron. I mean, carry distance was off the charts. 188 yards for a 7 iron is ridiculous. Asterisk, 28.5 degree loft. It's going to go that far. Spin rate was low, very low, 5,000 RPM. But to be honest, the flight was still up, it's still landing. It's just not going to stop really, really quickly. While we've got that up on screen, I'll just throw in the ZXiR HL 7 iron. We lost 17 yards in distance. I think that last one wasn't the best struck one, to be fair, but the spin rate went up by 1,000 RPM. The height was so much higher, and the descent was dropping down quicker. So you're not going to get as much ball speed, you're not going to get as much distance, but you're going to be able to probably hold the green a lot more. So you've got a decision to make there. 4 iron, 209 carry, 3,300 spin. Again, a little bit on the low side on the spin, but really high on the distance. Pitching wedge, I did actually think would go a bit further at 43 degrees of loft. I kind of wasn't striking it perfect, but 140 carry distance, again for a pitching wedge, 7,500 RPM is super, 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 super low. You want really from a pitching wedge getting closer to 10,000 if you can. But in its defence, because the way the club is made, it was going up in the air and stopping, but just not with spin, just with descent. I think they're good irons, I really do. I think they feel fantastic. I think the middle irons, the 7 irons, were my favourite. I got up to 4 and wasn't in love. I got down to pitching wedge and wasn't in love, but those middle irons were really, really good. And again, if you're looking for a game improvement iron that looks incredible and genuinely feels as good as these do, these could be right up your street. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. And that was the review of the Srixon ZXiR and the Srixon ZXiR HL irons. We'll see you next time. Make your name shorter, please, Srixon.